breaking news from NBC5.
I'm Mike Snyder. We're joining you now with the very latest on the crash of American Airlines Flight 587. Let us take you to the Rose Garden in the White House, where President Bush is meeting and standing there with former South African President Nelson Mandela. Let's listen in as the president talks about the crash this morning.
President Mandela is going to say a few words, and I will say some after he finishes. Welcome.
Well, firstly, I would like to express my deepest sympathies for the crash that took place today. And it's unfortunate that that should happen at this time, when the United States lost so many people on the 11th of September. But I know that you have got a strong leader, and the people of the United States of America can face disaster, and I'm sure they will overcome this unfortunate incident. I also want to say that one of the reasons for coming here is to be able to express my support for the president for his action in Afghanistan. The United States of America lost 5,000 people, innocent people, and it is quite correct for the president to ensure that the terrorists, both the masterminds as well as those who have executed the action and survived, to be punished heavily. And it would be disastrous if the president gave in to the call that the army must now withdraw before he has actually flushed out the terrorists. That would be a disaster. They will claim that they have defeated the United States of America, and they will continue doing the same thing. So I support him to continue until those terrorists have been tracked down.
Mr. President, you don't have to worry about me. We are going to bring them to justice, and I want to thank you for your support. I also want to thank you for your wisdom and your leadership in Burundi. You made a huge difference. The president said, why would I welcome a pensioner to the Oval Office? And the reason why is because he is such a strong man, and it's been my honor to greet you and welcome you. And thank you for your words of condolences. I, too, want to express my heartfelt sympathies for the citizens of New York, those on the airplane, those whose houses were damaged, those who were hurt on the ground, for the recent incident that took place. It is heartbreaking to pick up the phone and called my friend Rudy Giuliani and Governor George Pataki, and once again expressed our condolences, and at the same time assured the people of New York our federal government will respond as quickly as possible. We sent our FEMA teams over, the FBI is over there, and this investigation is being led by the National Transportation Safety Board to make sure that the facts are fully known to the American people. The New York people have suffered mightily. They suffer again. But there's no doubt in my mind that the New Yorkers are resilient and strong and courageous people, and will help their neighbors overcome this recent incident that took place. May God bless the victims and their families. Mr. President, welcome to Washington, and thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That is President Bush with former South African President Nelson Mandela speaking to us from the Rose Garden at the White House about the crash this morning that happened in New York City. Let us get now to the very latest on the crash of American Airlines Flight 587 in Queens. American confirms now there were 255 people on board that plane when it crashed on Long Island near the Rockaway Beach neighborhood of Queens on Long Island near Jamaica Bay, New York. Fire and rescue crews say it appears that none of the 255 people on board that plane survived. New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani says 6 people on the ground from the 12 homes hit and destroyed by that flaming wreckage are now missing. The plane took off from Kennedy Airport and within minutes went down just 5 miles from JFK. An engine fell off and crashed into the parking lot of a gasoline station, and the rest of the aircraft then nosedived into a densely populated neighborhood just 4 blocks away. The plane was going to Santo Domingo, in the Dominican Republic, and many on board were from that island nation in the Caribbean that's just next door to Haiti. New Yorkers are already, as you know, on edge after the September 11th terrorist attacks. And with today's crash, the city virtually shut down on security high alert on orders from the mayor, and fighter jets now filling the skies over Queens. This is a very tough day there.
I heard a huge rumbling over the house, and Kennedy Airport's closed, so we're used to planes rumbling over, so this was, there was something wrong. I knew it. So I went to the kitchen window and I looked out and saw the plane going down. Just the whole belly was facing us, and it nose down, perfect. No smoke, no flames, just dropped out of the sky.
Investigators recovered the flight data recorder. That's one of the plane's black boxes, which could provide clues to what happened. And that black box is on its way to Washington, D.C., should be there now for analysis. Investigators are also being very cautious. They say that this does not, I want to emphasize, this does not at this time look like the work of terrorists, according to government investigators, but they are not ruling out anything at this point. Fort Worth-based American Airlines care team is on the way to New York City, should be arriving there shortly. The airline's chief, Don Carty, called this an incredibly sad day for his airline and its employees and for the country.
As you would imagine, today's news comes at a difficult time for the nation, a difficult time for the airline industry, and a very difficult time for American Airlines. Given the changed world we live in today, it will be as important as it has ever been to quickly and to accurately determine the cause of this accident. First and foremost, however, our thoughts and our prayers are with the families of our passengers and employees of those lost today.
Again, investigators say it appears none of the 255 people on board American Flight 587 survived that fiery crash in New York City in a neighborhood of Queens, and 6 people from that neighborhood where their homes were hit are also missing at this hour. We are monitoring the events moment by moment in New York City and from American Airlines headquarters in Fort Worth, and we will bring you the very latest information and new developments as we get them, and of course a complete wrap-up on NBC5 first at 4 this afternoon.
5, your source for live, local, late-breaking news.